shorter one today is planned. So we're making the river. That's what's going on. Oh no, I left the house with a disc. Well, what we're doing is putting it back. It's a big no-no. It's a big no-no in my world. You're never supposed to take the music collection away from the record player. Well, we'll be able to give Garuda a seed. It's always a good way to start a video. Always a good way to start a day, in general. So goodbye to Garuda, goodbye to Luca and to Bella and to Calcite. And it's off to the river we go. No, please close the door. There we go. Alright, so we need higher flowing water from these sides. And kelp will be the best way to secure it, probably. But we can brainstorm some other stuff potentially, right? So we got plenty of kelp back there. So don't really... we don't need the kelp there anymore, but yeah. So the level goes down there. It'd be better if we dropped it. We could just make it go up though, but the river doesn't need to go up, so. How long have I had this world, Mark? This is day 443. I forget like the month that I started it or whatever. But yeah, sorry, I just don't know off the top of my head. It would be, you know, like, it's all 100% been on stream. I just don't recall when. I used to number all the Minecraft videos, and then I was like, you know, going by days would be easier. I bet that would be better. But what we need is for, you know, more of that center part to get worked out, which is just going to require, you know, some of this growing up more, and I think it'll work. And we're just gonna start digging through this wall a little bit. I said the wall. There we go. Because, you know, we don't need it to be a wall anymore. Being a river would be better. For reasons I feel that are not necessary to articulate. Being a river would be better. We should probably start at the top. This is like, you know, we're not doing this in what I would call a premeditated way. Hey Minikman, how's it going? You know, the joy of a river is in the bizarre behavior in the crafting of it. And I think we can just, because this like what loops around into the upper thing. Yeah, we don't want that to be river. Maybe the bottom side will be. Anyway, it's not necessary that it be river. No, that's the lower one. Yeah, we'll just go above that. We're now mining with the pork chops. That's excellent. It was bound to happen as soon as I rearranged the bar for the buckets. Which now I'm realizing we didn't need to do it all. Quick, let's empty the buckets and put them into a stack. That'll make me feel better about it. Good. Alright, and then we'll just... Where do you get all the kelp from? Oh, it's trivially easy to grow more. My first kelp I got from the ocean. So kelp will grow like very tall, right? I don't know exactly how tall, but many blocks. And so I just grabbed some from the ocean, you know, because there's a ton of it. You break the bottom one, and every block of the kelp is an individual kelp. And so, you know, when I started digging the river, so if you didn't know, kelp will grow through a flowing water block and turn that flowing water into a source block. And so the bulk of all of this that's empty here, all of this empty water was kelp. So as I move down the river, I just harvest the previous part because it remains a water source block even after you do that. But speaking of, thanks for reminding me. I need to get some more kelp for the project. So we're just gonna go over here because the wonderful thing is that this represents a ton. Like this is what like 20 some odd each one. So we've already got just a couple stacks of kelp, and it grows like a weed. It grows very, very quickly. And furthermore, you can put the kelp on top of the other kelp if you want to accelerate the water source growth in a specific area, which of course you could use buckets, but I find this to be a much faster method. Moreover, kelp floats to the top after just a little bit, or sometimes, if you have a little pool that you're setting up, it'll fall in there. Sometimes there's a creeper explosion, and I honor that creeper annoying me by turning it into a little pool of water afterward. Or at least that's what we'll do. And anyway, what river is complete without a little bit of inlets and stuff? Because right now, we're just digging like the main trench. Obviously, we got to dress it up way more. But I flatter myself that it's pretty solid work from working from nothing. And I've never really done anything like this before. I've made a canal. But this is the first time I've ever worked with the kelp and stuff, but it's definitely the way to do it. Definitely the way to do it. See, so like right here, as we push up these kelp, we can push the water further out, like so. And after just a couple of them, you'll see that, yeah. So you'll find like one that's not growing as much or at all that you probably missed the first time. And of course, while you could use a water block via a bucket, the benefit of this is that it's consistent. And if you want the water level to grow all the way up to there, right, it's not quite good enough that you can just put buckets in it. But you see there, this is the ideal, right? Like you grab your kelp, you zoop up the side here. That's a technical term of rivering, zooping. And then before you know it, you've got more water to the side. And now this next one here can grow up now that there's flowing water above it, and so on and so forth. And you can just carry on about your business. You set the kelp up, and that's the beauty of the system, right? Because you've got this huge river to dig, but you set this kelp up behind you, and then all you got to do is dig. And before you know it, you turn around, and all of the kelp is kelping it up right behind you, just as planned. Now what I'm doing here is not ideal. Like, ideally you would have it dug pretty considerably before the flowing water. Even with the Aqua Affinity enchantment for increased speed for underwater mining, it's still a noticeable change in mining efficiency. And there's really no point in hurting yourself in the efficiency when when you're going to be doing it for so long. So at some point we may need to reposition it a little bit. Have I tried using a beacon to mine faster? I have not. I guess I could reposition my beacon over here. I think my beacon that I set up, I put it into the mode of like giving me more defense or something. It's right behind my house. The beacon is, but I just do it because it looks pretty, you know. But I mean, what would the radius even be on it? Because you got to rebuild all the blocks, you know, to make the beacon thing happen. I guess if the speed was enough, it would be fine. And the radius was enough. I don't know. Just, you know, I don't know anything about that. I just built one because somebody said that I should build one, you know. They're like, that's the whole point of killing the wither. And I was like, I just wanted to show off. Alright. More digging. At a certain point, you want to do it from the top, and that point is immediately. However, I'm already doing it the wrong way. It's a good little river. Also, you can place dirt blocks directly on top of kelp. That could be useful sometimes. Like if you're frustrated with how something's working, like right here, right now, I can just go like so. And while that would inhibit some of the kelp from going, it might actually be useful for a lot of the other ones. And then you can just, which I haven't done this yet, but it occurs to me that it's actually probably excellent. It's probably super good. I was just thinking about the kelp applications. So this is gonna, yeah, this is gonna be great, right? You just get one. So again, it's gonna stop the kelp from growing there, but it gives you a place for the water to go to rise, and that'll let all the kelp on the sides of it push off of it more. And then you could probably put kelp on top of it, even right here. No, not yet. Not quite yet. I think we need a little more water than that. I don't know all the kelp rules, but if you just place some, then you'll get more before too long. You need two next to each other to influence it all, but I think once we push it out just a little bit here, we need one more here, and then it'll... Yeah, because we just need... Oh, a little thunderstorm going on. Just like real life, can't get away from them. Thunder roars. There we go. One of the things hit it, and now look how high the river pushed that whole way down to there. And that's all it takes, you know. You just gotta find where the problem is, and then before you know it, that's what we had. I was like, I felt like there was just something somewhere, and once we got it, it was all gonna be fine. And indeed it was. So we were having some issues with that section. That's the thing to do. So you buttress in a thing of dirt, and then you could, yeah, absolutely. Okay, so this is the better way to do it for the middle of it, right? You and then you can just like drop in a water like so if you want, you know, to go to the sides of it. But yeah, excellent, excellent indeed. Feels good. Intermediate kelping. Because of course, once you get some kelp down, then you go and you dig some more. Yeah, Minikman, kelp. You say kelp dynamics are truly fascinating. I quite agree. Like I was just having a conversation with somebody. I learned about this talking to like my buddy at work, and they were talking about not like building a river. They were talking about some farm and how you could use kelp to make the water get there faster. And I was like, oh, cool. But I had never wanted to dig a river, right? I dug canals to get to places, but then I was thinking of it whenever I was doing the wall here. I was like, man, this would be cool if it was a river. But yeah, because of the creation of source blocks, and then when they're next to each other, then you cascade down, which is just so cool, so cool. And like there, so like you can just do it there for a bit, and then there's probably like, you know, at some point you would want to go to the other way. But yeah, and then because of the way that the source blockings work, once you get rid of this thing in the middle, the stuff that's gone on either side and grown, that's probably going to have sorted you totally out anyway. Nice lightning storm. Hopefully everybody in town is fine. Let's look around. Hey ho, looky there, guys. What a day. We look up out, and what do we see but a skeleton horse? So people get ready. Let's get ready for the main event. The Horsemen of the Apocalypse. They are fierce horse archers. Oh no, now they have declared war on one another. The humanity. How can this have happened? First they came as brothers, and now, acrimonious, they slay each other. The one with the armor, the one with the hat winning after all of that. Glorious stuff. You know, thus always to the enemies of the horsemen. And then, as suddenly as it happened, it was all over. And look, guys, now we got some skeleton horses. Good stuff. Good stuff. You can sit on one without a saddle, but you can't tell them where to go. Anyway, well, now I have to build a pen to put them in, right? Let's just go ahead and do that. Like I'm annoyed about it. How fun. How lucky, right? I mean, it's probably not that lucky. I've seen it happen before, but it's still a little lucky. I don't have... Yeah, we'll just ride all of them real quick, and then we'll try to build a fence. And grab a saddle and put them in. Or leads. Yeah, anyway. I was just going to be like, wouldn't it be cool if we saw a skeleton horse and then we just ride right up? And there you go. There you go. It's, I was just talking about my skeleton horse fixation earlier today. It's what led to the wheat field, actually. Pretty cool. Pretty cool to have them here. This was one of the things that we hadn't had in this world yet, was skeleton horses. So now that is no longer undone. I need to remember there's, yeah, I was like, there's a saddle here, right? I look in this box periodically and I'm like, surely one day I'll need to remember what's in here, and then I will. Alright, we need some wood, which we would have put somewhere. The villagers are just chilling with the booming sounds of destruction all around them. That's not enough oak fence at all. It's in the vault. Yes, it's in the vault. You know, I often slept through thunderstorms here, but on day 444, lucky 444, we get our skeleton horses for the first time, and I'm just gonna get some wood, and then, oh yeah, the cherry log, I've got a ton of them. I always skip over it when I'm looking at things. We can make a cherry fence for the skeleton horses, that'll be nice. And that'll be enough of all of that. How dare they? Pale oak might suit the skeletons better. Yeah, but I think they could, you know, they might like a little pink one. Anyway, we're just going to build a little one right now, and then I'll think of a better place to build it a little later. Because I don't know if I want it to be, like, right here, right? But I do know that I have exactly 9 minutes before I have to wrap this up and go back to work. So I was going to spend it with the river, but of course, you do what you got to do. And they're just walking around, nibbling on the grass that they can never eat. Poor sad boys. What? Oh. Cancel both shots by switching to a different item. I think I knew that, but like in a way where I didn't do anything about knowing it. Oh yeah, look how fast, look how speedy and brave. And then we'll of course be able to cunningly just jump them in. I don't think they'll jump out in the same manner. And they can hang out in here with their flowers and have a better time. Like, it's sad that they're getting rained on. We'll give them a better place to live. Eventually. Eventually. This guy's like not having it. He's gonna get big time lost. Come with me if you want to live. Hi, Orange Leaf. We just got some skeleton horses. It's very exciting. The first ones we've got in this world. I've got them in hardcore before. Oh no! Alright, so this is not a spider-proof fence, but I don't think mobs will ever mess with them. Alright. They probably will stay in there and be very happy. We'll give them, we need to give them some water so that they can't drink it. That's very important. You don't want your skeleton horses to be without water. Just because they can't drink it doesn't mean that they don't want some. Take it from me, I'm an expert. Oh, no, that wouldn't be good. Because they could bounce out. You want it to be in the middle. Alright. How lovely. I'm actually pretty pumped about that. I had just been saying to myself the other day, when will it be time for you to fulfill your dreams of having skeleton horses? And of course, the day was today. Alright. It's not a good place for the gate to be. No, the gate doesn't matter. This is not a permanent place, you know. Put stone slabs on top of the fences. Yeah, I usually use like wool carpets on my fences to get in, but we won't be going back into that fence until we're fixing it to take them somewhere else. Oh, did you fall down in the kelp? That's a shame. Big old dummy. Well, I sure wish I could keep on playing because I'm having a good time. And how lucky, you know. Sure, it's day 444, but anytime you get a skeleton horse is still lucky in my book. But as the rain falls down, it's time to end. And I don't have very long, so it'll be a shortened song to dance to today. We'll just play the music box of Creator. So I invite you to sit, stand, or kneel for the shortened version of the national anthem, Creator. Hey Kiki, you came in at the end of it. It's just a shorter one right now. We got a skeleton horse. Well, 4 of them. We made a little pin for them. Probably can't see it here. Yeah. Down there, that little cherry pin. When's the next stream? Oh, I'll probably stream something tonight. In like 6 or 7 hours, probably. But certainly tomorrow afternoon. But thanks for watching. Thanks for listening, everyone. Bye, Minnick. Bye, Orange Leaf. Bye, Kiki. Thanks for hanging out. Yeah, we got skeleton horses. Awesome. Gonna have to build them a wonderful stable worthy of their rare and special nature, rather than just a cherry fence out in the middle of a field getting rained on. But hey, it's all got to start somewhere. So a seed for Garuda. Goodbye, Luca. Goodbye, Calcite and Belladonna. Goodbye, Garuda. You're the best bird. As we lay down on the night of day 444, day 445 dawns. The river is a little longer than before, and yeah, everything's looking up. Well, that's all I've got for you today, and I will perhaps see you in another stream video. Good.